wonderful viewers, you are welcome once again to KNUST News File. My name is Tabi Peter and I'll be taking you through yet another exciting scholarship session on this channel. And this scholarship is basically for prospective applicants of KNUST, right? So it's called the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship. Every year they give the opportunity to students to take their chances and then get admitted into their scheme to enjoy the benefits of it. So if you want to know more about the scholarship, if you've heard about it but then you don't understand some things in the application processes, you want to know how it is done, you want to know the benefits, you want to really know more about it, I'd like you to stay with me to the end of this video and then you enjoy every bit of it.
The MasterCard Foundation Scholarship Program at KNUST has been a life-changing program to me personally. Graduating from high school way back in 2017, life was something like a dilemma to me. I didn't know where to turn to until, fortunately, on my side, my headmaster introduced the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship Program to me.
Alright, so you are welcome. Let's get started. This is the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship website, okay, or the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship Program website. Everything about the scholarship is online on their platform, so you would have to go and then check it out for yourself. So this is what the page indicating what the opening of the 2024 edition of the scholarship. Okay, so each year they pick selected applicants for the following academic year so that what they enjoy the benefits of the scholarship. We're going to look at the requirements, the application process, where to submit your stuffs, what to do and what not to do, and a lot of things. So before that, we look at what the aims and the goals of MasterCard, but then I would like to walk you through the website. So this is their website. So there are programs about us, MasterCard Foundation, Scholars Program Staff, Contact Us, Scholarship Application, Scholars Entrepreneur Fund, Scholars Alumni, and more. And then we come to the units. The units are the Administration, Alumni Engagement, Career Development Center, Counseling Unit, CMP, Communications and Branding, Travels and Accommodation. Then we come to their resources. So as you can see, there are also a lot of things here. And then the other partners, there are a lot of stuff here. So let's go down. So this is the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship 2024. If you want to apply, you click on here, but then before you go there, we have to go down and then see what's there for us. Okay, so let's go down. So this is the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at KNUST. This provides details of everything concerning MasterCard itself, not the scholarship. It's concerning this the foundation, its purpose, the reason why they are in Ghana, the reason why they are in KNUST. So our goal is to raise the next generation of ethical and transformative leaders who would influence positive forward-looking changes in their respective home countries, specifically and on the African continent as a whole. So MasterCard is from Canada, right? Their head office is in Toronto. So they are basically in Africa to improve the lives of what individuals, and in turn the individuals also what improve their communities. So collectively, when these individuals works are put together, they what expanding the development or the growth of Africa as a whole. So the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at KNUST in Ghana is a partnership between the KNUST and the MasterCard Foundation, which is headquartered in what Toronto, Canada, as I said earlier, to train altogether 2,250 scholars over an aggregated 15-year period. So for a period of 50 years, their goal is to educate 2,250 scholars, right? And then so scholars, they've already had a phase one, so 750 scholars in phase one, that is 2014 to 2019, that was the phase one, and then 1,500 scholars in phase two, that is 2019 to 2029. So the first phase is already done, so they are in their second phase. So from 2019 to 2029, this is the second phase. So 2024 is in the second phase to contribute significantly to societal change and the transformation of Africa. So the idea of all this MasterCard stuff is to get people who will have a change or a positive impact on their communities. So for the purpose of the scholarship, you would have to what, be able to lead or bring about changes in your areas. Wherever you find yourself, you should be able to lead the people or cause changes to benefit the whole community, right? The program at KNUST provides access to quality university education to qualified, academically talented yet economically disadvantaged young people in deprived communities of Ghana and Africa, and empower them to give back to their society. So when you become a beneficiary of this scholarship, their goal is that you will be able to what, impact your community after school, right? You should have a purpose. So basically, when they are selecting applicants, they look at what, the stuff that you provide, the details that you provide, what are your visions, what do you want to do for your community, right? So in the execution of her mandate, the program further gives priority to females, displaced persons, or certified refugees and internally displaced persons, and persons with disability. So if you find yourself in this criteria, any of these criteria, it's a very big opportunity for you. Don't slack on it, just grab it, and then you benefit from it. So this is a cohort. I think this their fifth cohort, those who are graduating for the fifth time, they share their testimonies, and there's a reception. It happened last year with the vice chancellor. They had a dinner with the vice chancellor, and then maiden alumni homecoming 2022. So the homecoming of 2022 alumni, so they came to do some stuff. There are a lot of videos here that you can watch. And then program areas, so you give back components, you give back to the society, right? After your school and stuff, you give back to the society. Education and learning, where you get yourself involved in the academics of KNUST. Youth livelihoods, right? They organize games for socialization purposes and more, so that you enjoy yourself as well. You don't just come and study and then you leave. So there are statistics, you find all that here. All right, so I'll put the link in the description so that you go there and then check for yourself. So this is where we go into the scholarship application processes. We are going to talk about all the processes, and then we'll talk about the benefits and then how things are being done. So now you know the reason why MasterCard is in Ghana and why they are doing their stuff. It's not a Ghanaian owned entity, it's a non-profit organization. Okay, so their own aim is to improve the livelihood of individuals and then their communities, right? So if you become a beneficiary, you should definitely have something to do to impact your community. Okay, so if you become a beneficiary, there are a lot of things that you're supposed to enjoy, and then there are some things that you're supposed to do. But then let's go through the application process, and I'll give you the benefits and then all that. I would like you to subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment and share with your friends as well. All right, so let's get into the application process and then do more. Right, so we are here at the application processing stage, right? So we are going to look at the eligibility or criteria and all that you're supposed to do, right? So before we go to the benefits, let's look at the criteria before you even start applying. One of the mistakes people do is they start applying for a scholarship before they get to know more about it. That's not how you are supposed to apply for a scholarship. When you want to apply for a scholarship, you are supposed to read about it, its criteria, its benefits, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do before you begin the process. If you start without knowing about the scholarship, you become stranded at the end, and that is not really beneficial, and that's just a waste of time. So we are going to look at the registration, scholarship application, that's the eligibility. So we go to the eligibility section and look at what makes you suitable for the scholarship. So all applicants and prospective candidates must have in their possession a genuine and valid WASSCE or GBC or ABC or GCE, O-level and A-level, or their equivalent results from an accredited or recognized institutions. Applicants' results must not be more than 5 years old. So beginning from the year when the scholarship portal was opened to 5 years back. If you do not find yourself within that range, or if you do not find yourself graduating within that range, that means you're not part. Okay, so you should have graduated 5 years earlier, right? But if you graduated 6 years earlier, that is exceeding the 5 years, you are not part. This is basically talking about the range of 5 years counting backwards after the application portal has been opened. So this is 2024, so we count 5 years backwards, and then that will be somewhere 2019, right? So if those in 2018, 2017, you are not part, you cannot apply for this because your certificate is 5 years more than 5 years old, right? No awaiting results candidates will be processed for the scholarship. So one of the disadvantages is that the scholarship is not for those who are yet to graduate. So those who are yet to write towards it, you are not part, right? You should have your results at hand before you can apply, right? And it should be between the 5-year range, right? And then the candidate must further meet KNUST's admission requirements. Yes, so the admission requirements of KNUST, right? KNUST does not take D7. You get it? So if you have a D7 in your results, or E8 or F9 or any poor grade, KNUST takes from A1 to C6, right? So apart from this range, any other grade is not accepted. So you must meet the requirements of KNUST. So which implies that before you apply for this scholarship, or before you even think of applying to this scholarship, you should have the mindset of applying to KNUST as well, because they move in hand. But then this scholarship's application does not have an effect on your KNUST admissions, right? You have to be selected. They are independent, they don't depend on each other, they are independent. So if you gain admission to KNUST, good, and then you are selected for the program, you can be admitted into KNUST, but then you will not be selected for the program. You cannot be selected for the program when you've not gained admission into KNUST. That's how it works. So you should be an applicant of KNUST who has met the requirements, right? So that is an advantage. So if you qualify to read a particular program in KNUST, you are good to go. You don't really need to stress yourself. The applicant must demonstrate that he or she has critical economic needs. Yes, you must prove that you have financial challenges. You don't just write anything in your letters and then submit it, but you should prove what your critical economic needs, pressing issues. I know majority of you may have stayed home for 2-3 years because you were just home raising funds for your tertiary education. This scholarship is there to save most of you if only you qualify for it. The applicant must have proven records of leadership and community engagement. So you should be someone who is open to the community. You do a lot of stuff, okay? You should touch things, you should be doing things that the community benefits from. You should have a leadership skill, right? You should have an interest in leading. So if you have the interest in leading, when you come, they nurture you in that way. So you let me not talk plenty about the benefits. Let's keep going and then finish with that. So priority shall be given to females, displaced persons, as we said earlier, right? And then the applicant must be prepared to go back and give back to his or her community. The applicant must not be enrolled in any tertiary institution. Yes, you shouldn't be in any tertiary institution, whether LiQWYD, whether UCC or any. The ideal candidate is someone who has stayed home after SHS due to some challenges, or decided not to go, but then is now making up their mind to attend school, right? So that is what they are referring to, not somebody who has gone to school or who has attended any of the universities or tertiary schools and then has decided to apply and then come back. No, it doesn't work that way. So we go to the scholarship packages, right? What you get from the scholarship. So we have financial support. They pay your tuition fee, that's your school fees, accommodation on campus. Beneficiaries of MasterCard do not stay off campus. You are all accommodated on campus. Learning materials, transportation, and monthly stipend, right? According to a beneficiary, you could be getting a monthly stipend of about 500 cedis or more, Yes, the stipends are good, but then it gets to a point where they are supposed to review your academics and then see if you still need the scholarship or you still meet the criteria for the scholarship. We will look at that. We look at the scholars guide and then see what they require of you as a beneficiary, right? So counseling support services, yes, they counsel you. Career development services, including industrial mentorship, career guidance, professional development, enterprise development, among others. So once you come and then you're a beneficiary and you have a skill or something, you are being guided. They help you. They do a lot of things to help beneficiaries get a lot of stuff for themselves, right? To be equipped for the community. That's why their own goal is to help you develop your community or do something for your community. So they don't just bring you to just be going to school. You have to have something that you can give back to your society. You get it? So regular group meetings with other scholars that focus on personal and professional development opportunities and activities tailored to build societal relationships and scholars' capacity. So socialization activities will just be happening so that you get to know them. You have a dinner almost at the end of every month. You attend a dinner. Yes, that's one of the benefits. Continue academic support through academic mentoring, virtual learning and tutoring. So they teach you, they mentor you, they do a lot of things for you to excel academically. Opportunities to participate in leadership congresses, community services and mentoring. So you go and give back to your society. And uniquely sourced internships with industry for professional development. The prestige of becoming part of the growing family of the MasterCard Foundation Scholars alumni and working with the global scholars community. Yes, so this is where you download the form, but then we will go down and then see what's there before we tackle filling the form. So those of you that are in Ghana here, when you are down filling your form, this is the address you are supposed to send your forms through. The program manager, MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at KNUST, number 1 Africa Hall Road, Impact Building, PMB, that is private mailbox UPO, KNUST, Kumasi, AK 3154897 Ghana. Right, so that's the address. And then for the international applicants, you'll be using an email address. If you cannot actually mail it through this address, you'll be using an email address which will come later. So there's a deadline for 2024 applicants. So international applicants should note, when submitting your scholarship application form to the secretariat, submit these additional documents: the printout of your application for KNUST if available, original certificates of senior high school results such as WASI or GBC, etc. Right, what next? After applying for the scholarship, what am I supposed to do? How do I know I've been selected? What should I do? Only shortlisted applicants will be called for interviews, right, which will be held at the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship Program at KNUST Secretariat, right? So you'll be coming for interviews, right? And mostly some of them are done online, but then you would come for interviews. Interviews will be done by an independent panel constituted by the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. Verification of all examination results and information provided, as well as community visits of successful applicants, will be conducted before admission is approved. Yes, so when you are selected or when you are being chosen as a beneficiary, you'll be visited. Yes, some of you will visit your communities to verify the information that you provided. So basically, you do not have to lie in any of your letters. Just provide the concrete truth. When they find out and they know that is what you really mean, it's simple as that. You don't need to create any story, any cock and bull story for them. So someone asks, what if I lie in my letter and then they don't visit me? Will I still get it? Or what if I lie in my letter and they visit me? Do I end up not getting the scholarship? Of course, yes. When you lie, you are deceiving the organization. So definitely they wouldn't pick you, right? So just write the exact things. Please note well, there are absolutely no charges, fees, facilitation agents or intermediaries required. So when you are applying for MasterCard, Nobody takes you money. Everything is free. Just download the form and then apply. Do not let anybody dupe you. Don't let anybody take money from you for the sake of applying to MasterCard or the chances or increasing the chances of you getting the scholarship. Nothing like that is there. So be guided. Okay, inaccurate information or fraudulent misinterpretation on the part of any applicant and any attempt to influence the process will lead to disqualification and a recommendation for dismissal from the program. Yes, if you provide false information, you will just be taken out. You are disqualified. Provide right information. It's really necessary and important. Don't deceive, don't lie. Just write what you are experiencing, what your situation is, what your current situation is. Okay, the decisions of selection committee also constituted by the vice chancellor final. Yes, so for further inquiry and assistance on how to apply, please email the recruitment team. Yes, some of you, especially the international applicants, you may have problems. This is where you can contact them using the email address, right? recruitment.mcf@knust.edu.gh. Applicants are to desist from calling the offices of the MasterCard Scholarship Foundation, asking about the status of their application. It takes a very long time for this scholarship thing to end because KNUST's admission is yet to begin. So during the WASI period and all that, visiting applicants and all that takes place, right? So you should be expecting stuff from your email addresses and your phones, your phone numbers. So if you do not provide valid phone numbers or valid email addresses, communication between you and then the organization is going to be poor, and then you would end up losing because if you are selected, you wouldn't know. If they are coming to visit you, you wouldn't know. So you may leave your house before they come, and then when they come and you are not there, it goes against you. You get it? And then telephone numbers, Skype IDs, and email addresses provided by applicants should be active at all times. Yes. So as I said, and then all applicants must apply to KNUST for undergraduate admission in order to be considered for the scholarship. Yes. So you should be an undergraduate for the scholarship, right? You should have applied for the school. So apply for KNUST, meet the requirement, get admitted. Then if you are selected or you are among the selected people, the scholarship scheme taps you to become a beneficiary. Award of the scholarship will be published on the program's website. Yes, so this is the end of it. So now we are going to look at how to fill the form, or we are going to look at the details of the form, right? And then you'll be guided through how to apply. All right, so you are welcome to the form. This is the MasterCard Scholarship application form. Okay, so it has 14 pages divided into 8 sections, A, B, C, D up to H. This is where you input your passport picture. Someone asks what background. The background it's best you use the passport pictures you use to apply for KNUST. That's size. Just fix it here. Name of applicant, country, place of residence, hometown, region. So place of residence, the region, hometown, and its region. Okay, so this is what they do. This is what you're supposed to do. The names that you input here should match the names on your WASI results, and then should match the names on your documents to prevent further mistakes. All right, so I'll be providing some of the details as we move along the line. Because the pages are plenty, I will just be snappy about this, and then we will look at important things that you're supposed to do. Some of the information required in the application processes are very simple to understand, but we look at the complicated ones so that you get to understand. And if you don't understand anything, you can just drop in the comment section. I would be glad to answer you. And then don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your suggestions or anything in the comment section for me. Okay, and then turn on the notification bell for more videos. All right, so let's continue. So I'll input my name here. Yes, and it's very important you fill the form with caps. Okay, it's important you fill the form with caps. So region, Ashanti region. But here I'm from a different place. Okay, so if your hometown is where you reside, you just put it there. Okay, all right. Okay, so that section is done. Right, so please tick the box if you are a displaced person, certified refugee, internally displaced person, that's IDP or more. So if you're a refugee, that is, you are not from Ghana or you are from outside somewhere and you've been displaced, that is, you've lost your home and then you are somewhere else and you've moved here, you just tick the box here, indicate your country of asylum as a refugee. Okay, and then you write the country there, right? And then you attach evidence of your status as a refugee, right? So this is a scholarship scheme, and then they need a lot of information about you to be able to give it to you, right? Please tick the box if you are a female. So female, you tick the box. Please tick the box and add medical and or photographic evidence if you are a person with disability, right? So if you are a person who has a medical condition, or you have disability, or you are physically challenged, you take the box here, then you come and describe your situation here, right? If you think your situation wouldn't occupy these lines provided, it's better you summarize it, right? Just summarize it. So they asking for a brief description, okay, but then you can still use another sheet, but I don't think your situation will be very critical that you need a full page. So you just write a short, since you'll be providing evidence, you don't need to write plenty. Okay, all right. So your response to 1, 2 and 3 will not be used against you in the selection process. It's to help the program provide the necessary assistance to you. Yes, so the information that you provide here wouldn't be used against you, right? So just feel free and fill the form and then keep going. All right, so now let's get to a more serious note. It will be to your own interest to carefully read and fill this entire form as much as you can. Yes, as much as you can. It doesn't mean you should fill some of the details and leave others. That renders your application void. You're supposed to fill the form to the last drop, except for situations or cases where you do not have such documents or what they require you. Okay, so we get to such places and I'll show you how you are supposed to go around it. So students with no results in hand but are awaiting results are not eligible. So as said earlier, you shouldn't be a WASI candidate. Okay, you shouldn't be a WASI candidate. You shouldn't be writing in that year when the scholarship was opened. Okay, attach a copy of your WASI results. You've already looked at this. So now let's look at the number 4. Provide 3 reference letters signed and sealed independently by 3 persons of high repute who can speak about you in the following categories of affiliations. So this is how it's done. In your academic aspect, your headmaster or assistant headmaster of your high school can give you that letter. Then religious, your Christian minister or imam or anybody religious, but the person should have a position, right? A catechist or something. The community chief or community leader, right? The assemblyman or any other person in the community who has a position, right, in regards to the community. Any other relevant classification. So if you have any other classification that you think you would need a recommendation from somebody, you can just seek the person. It could be work, where you work, if you had an internship or you worked somewhere and you think that this place that I worked I need the letter which would push up, for example, a place you worked, when you work at a particular point, you would gain some experiences, so you would need a letter from whoever that was in charge of you. It's very relevant because such letters give you a push, right? They are looking for people who have the desire to make a change. So if you've worked already, that means you have a particular skill that they can nurture you to help give back to your community, right? Provide evidence of the estimated income of parents. Yes, this place, a lot of you will have challenges, right? For example, those of you that have parents that sell in the market or have stores that don't keep pay slips or anything, just write or summarize or estimate the income of your parents in the month, right? And then you can ask them how much they earn probably in the month. They'll give you an estimate, and then you write it in the letter. So it's an evidence. But those that have parents working officially, you can just provide the pay slips. You don't need to write plenty. It's not something that you're supposed to write plenty, right? You just indicate an estimate, right? Attach high school transcripts. You need your high school transcript or terminal reports covering the last 3 years in school. So for the last 3 years that you were in school, you can provide the results for that. So you can just decide to go to your school and ask for your results, and then they provide that, or just take the transcript, a copy of your birth cert, any other relevant document that you believe supports your application. Yes, those of you that held student leadership positions, this is an opportunity for you. You can just include the certificates you obtained through such positions, right? Complete all sections that may apply to you, right? Some of the sections you may not have documents for it, just like the estimated income of your parents. It's not everybody who has a parent that works, right? So you really do not have anything to input there, okay? And then international applicants are expected to have passports ready for onward travel to Ghana. Those of you outside Ghana, you would have to get a passport so that when you are selected to aid in your flight, they will take care of your cost, but then you should have the passport ready, right? Applicants must apply to KNUST separately for admission. Applicants are to note that the completion of this application form does not constitute an application to KNUST for admission. You don't have an influence on each other, but then you gaining admission into KNUST increases your chances of getting the MasterCard scholarship. But then everything is based on your letters, right? What the documents you provide. If you provide documents that makes you qualified, you have the opportunity to be admitted and then become a beneficiary of the scholarship. So that's how it works. So you get to KNUST, then you meet the requirements of the scholarship. Automatically you become a selected candidate for the scholarship. But you don't get admission into KNUST. That means you are being disqualified as a selected applicant, because you have to be in KNUST to benefit from the scholarship, right? Okay, so the address as stated earlier where you are supposed to send them, and then the international applicants, you send yours to this email address, recruitment.mcf@knust.edu.gh, right? We've already looked at this, right? Okay, so section 8, this is the first section of the 8 sections. So student information, your surname, first name, middle name, other names. You should be careful the way you arrange your names. Kindly use capital letters in filling the form. Okay, male, female, date, month, year. So date, the day, right? And then so 21st month, March, and then the year, right? And then your age, right? Your nationality, Ghanaian or Egyptian or Nigerian. Don't write your country name, write the nationality, country of birth, native language, the language, your mother tongue, right? Your mother tongue. And then marital status, are you single, married, separated, divorced? The boxes were supposed to appear, so if you are or you belong to you just take close to them, right? And then do you have children, yes or no? If yes, how many children do you have? So if you don't have children, you have nothing to do with this section. You can put a dash here. But if you have children, you indicate the number. So telephone number 1, telephone number 2. So those of you that have 2 numbers, provide 1, 2, and then emergency number, a number that no matter what, if you are dying, if they call you to get through to that number, provide that number here. right? And then postal address, okay, and then current residence, and then the region where you have lived for at least the past 6 months. Permanent residence, hometown, email address. As I said, your email address should be active. Don't go and then use somebody's email address and then you don't even know the password to, because if the information are being sent to you and then it's on somebody's email address, you wouldn't know. If the person doesn't inform you, you wouldn't know, right? So you should use an active email address. It's better you create a new one and get a password that you remember and use it to apply than using somebody's email address, because you cannot change it. When you lose that person's email address, there's no way you can go back to the post office and ask for your delivery and then change the email address. No, once you write that email address there, it sticks. Avoid cancellation. Yes, back in SHS and primary JHS, they'll tell you to avoid dirty work. Yes, avoid cancellation. So it's best you make copies of this and then you fill it. After that, you glance through to check if they are all right before you fill it into the correct one. So you can just print one, then do a photocopy. That will be black and white, and then the one you printed should be colored, so that after everything you just fill it in, and then this reduces your rate of cancellation. So international applicants, do you have a passport? Yes or no? Yes, then you provide a number. If no, you would have to get a passport, right? So information on your undergraduate admission at KNUST. Have you applied for admission to KNUST? Yes or no? Right. So you are supposed to apply to KNUST once the portal is open. So the reason why they are saying this is that you would need your student application number when you are being selected, right? That's what they used to pick you for the school for the scholarships opportunities. But if you don't apply to KNUST, there's no details of you in the school's portal. They cannot find you, right? So they stated the process of getting the admissions, that is going to the school's portal and then downloading the stuffs. Okay. In choosing programs of study in your application for admission at KNUST, please be guided by the university's admission requirements. So you can just go and download the requirements and then you proceed from there. So your first choice of program, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. So all your 4 choices. So you know to start with BSc and then the name of the program. If it is BA, you write it and then you write the initials, then you write the full name of the program. Once you complete KNUST admission forms, which is different from the scholarship form, your application ID will be required for further processing of your scholarship if you are shortlisted for interview. Yes, so as I said, your application ID will be needed, right? That will be your student ID for first year, or no, student ID throughout your school life in KNUST. So section B, this is where they talk about your school life, right? Your educational background. So the school that you went, the name, and then the certificate you had, date commenced and then date completed. Start from JHS, SHS. Those of you that went to several schools before graduating or completing, you would have to choose one of them. Choose the one you completed in, right? Because that's the current one, right? And then parent information section, this is where you talk about your parents and all that, right? So this part, the box is supposed to appear, right, so that you take, but then you can just take it here. And then mother and father are living together, separated, divorced. Living together, that means you are in the same house, everything. Separated, they are not divorced, the marriage still exists, but then they are living at different places. And then divorce is when the marriage is no more in section. So you provide the details here, right? So if the person has not gone to school, you just write none, right? The job title of the person, a teacher or whatever. So if the person is a teacher, the employer's name is what GES, right? If it's a health worker, Ghana Health Service. So if you just look for the title of your parent, the job title of your parent, and then ask for the employer, right? They'll provide that for you. Number of siblings, this refers to the children of either your mother or father or both, right? So the siblings that you have, just write the number here. Okay, now let's go to section D, family information. This scholarship application is really lengthy. You would have to take time to apply. If not, you make mistakes, right? That's why I said you just print out the colored one, then make a photocopy, go through, fill the photocopy, go through to check your mistake before you start filling on the colored one. So you talk about your family stuffs here, how many people including yourself, depend on the income of your parents. You state the numbers, go through all this, and then what? You state the numbers. So complete the table below for all members of your family or household living in your householder's home. So the householder, that is either your father or your mother's home, where you live currently, the people there, and then their ages, at least 10. So the list could be 10. Then complete the table below for other members of your family household living in your householder's home. If a member is employed, give details as to the nature of employment. Employment type may include farmer, teacher, trader, nurse, etc. So these people are also living in your household, right? Good. Provide their names for at least 4. And have you or any of your siblings ever missed a significant part of a school term? If yes, you provide a reason. If no, you move forward, right? So maybe it could be that you owed fees, so that time of the that part of the term of the school's academic activities you couldn't go to school, right? So that's the challenge. You just state there, right? And then you provide evidence. So if you owed school fees, definitely there will be a receipt that shows something. And then family householders financial status or financial details. Please provide details for your family's monthly income from all sources everywhere. For international applicants, please provide the amounts in the US dollar equivalent of your local currency. So you convert your currency or the fees. So if let's say you are in Nigeria, and then your fees or your amount, the amount is 10,000 naira, you convert 10,000 naira to dollars, right? What you get is what you are supposed to input, right? You will not use these symbols, okay? So let's say you take 50 cedis from mother, 100 cedis from other relative, 200 cedis from father, 300 cedis from other sources. That's even your own work or something. Then you come and write the total. This is maths, so you don't write figures here and then the total is different from the summation of all these 4. Make sure it tallies, okay? Make sure it tallies. Let's other sources of your family's income coming from other relatives, so your uncle, your granddad, wherever it's coming from. Do you expect any significant change in your family or household income in the coming year? If yes, explain why. So if yes, maybe your father or your mother is working on a business that has started and it's improving, definitely there's going to be a change in your income the next year, right? So you just go through that and then you write something. Tell us to the best of your ability how much your family household spends per month to meet its living expenses. So this one you would have to sit down with your parents and then estimate the amount for each or for the lines, right? So rent or mortgage, phone bills, to airtime, data that you buy, medical bills, hospital things that you do, the drugs that you buy, other expenses, food, public transportation. You would have to sit down with your parents and then talk things through. That's why it's for applicants who are already at home. You have your parents with you, sit them down, talk to them, and then you get to understand everything concerning what this part of the application process. So as I said earlier in the C's part, make sure that what the amount you input here, when you sum them up, it should be equal to the total, right? It should be equal to the total. If you cannot do summation, kindly use a calculator. Avoid writing wrong figures. Avoid inflating your figures. Write what exists, don't cook your own figures. All right, so we come to section E. Come to educational expenses. How much does your family spend on the education of the members of your family? So let's say your father has 3 children. He has Kofi, Ama, Ajua. So Kofi's school fees is 2,000. Kofi attends Opokuare. He's in year 2. His school fees is 2,000, right? Other costs, maybe your father buys chobos, trunk, mattress, provisions, right? And then monthly stipend or weekly stipend or whatever that is involved, that will be the other cost, right? So you provide such details accordingly. Okay, and as I said, avoid inflating figures. Are your fees paid by a relative other than your householder? So if your fees are being paid by your uncle or your aunt rather than your father or something, or the person that you are living with, is if that person is not paying your fees, that's the person we are referring to as a householder, the person you are living with, right? So is that person the one paying your fees or somebody else? What is the relation between you and this person? So the person who is paying your fees, what is your relation with that person? Okay, and then how many other children fees are paid for by this same person? So if the person is paying for your other siblings, you can indicate what the number here. Okay, and then section F, for applicants whose education is or was sponsored by others other than parents or householder. So those of you on sponsorship schemes like district assembly scholarships or philanthropy supports and all that, you provide the details of what the scholarship and everything that they give you here. So you would have to contact the scholarship or your school head for what the details of that if you find yourself in such a category. Okay, all right, so these are the details and then you provide them. All right, let's keep going. So house information, please take the type of accommodation that you and your family occupy. So is it a parent's house or is it a family house? Is it a rented place paid by your parents' employer? Yes, some of you, your parents are contractors or work in some companies where the companies take care of what your accommodation. They give you a house. For example, if your father or your mother is a lecturer, and then you live on campus, you live in a bungalow, or your mother is a teacher, you live in a bungalow. That's what you state, right? So that's what they're referring to. Rented premises paid by parents. So if your parents pay the rents themselves, you take care, or if there's another way apart from all these four, you take care. Number of bedrooms in your dwelling place, number of rooms you occupy with your family. Describe the dwelling in which you live, including the location and types of appliances and amenities. Now, type of construction material. How is your house built? Is it a mud? Is it a brick? Is it a cement? Is it a wood? That you specify, right? Roofing materials of dwelling, metal, thatch, other. Type of toilet facility, flush or pour flush toilets, VIP latrine, uncovered pit latrine, composite toilet. No facility, we use the push or field. Can indicate EcoSan, right? And then do you share the toilet facility with others and blah blah blah. Kindly take time to go through and make sure you understand the question before you answer. Okay, understand the question before you answer the question. And as I always say, make sure you have a photocopy. Deal with the photocopy. Afterwards, you transfer to the CALI. So does your family have the following at your residence? Refrigerator, television, satellite dish, electric iron, desktop computer, laptop computer, internet access, electricity access, phone. Just understand the question and take. It's plenty, but then you would have to take your time, right? You can just, the deadline is always far, so just sit down. You can take days to answer each section. So day one, you can take your time and answer about 2-3 sections, and then you keep going, right? Does your family own a motor vehicle? Yes, no. If yes, list the year, make. So if it's a Honda or Toyota Hilux or something, you just go to the car's screen. They always have a white paper attached to the windscreen. You find the details that they require of you on it, the color of the car, the year the car was made, and the car's model. They're always on it. And then the last section, that's section H. Unless specified, do not attach any other material in response to the questions under this section. You are required to provide your answers in the spaces provided. Okay, so this means that whatever you are going to provide here, do not write them outside the lines. That is, you shouldn't use an extra sheet for this work. Okay, you shouldn't use an extra sheet for this work. So basically, then what they are trying to mean is you would have to what? Squeeze your handwriting, make sure it enters there. So this is like an exams portmanteau or filling. You are supposed to use the space provided. Okay, so you have maximum is 100 words. So you'd have to sit down, use the photocopy, write before you write even on the photocopy, write on a sheet, summarize it, and then what you write on the photocopy, see the number of lines you've used. If it exceeds the lines, you summarize it again, and then you write to fit the spaces provided. Okay, oh, there's enough space. In your own words, what is your understanding of community? Briefly explain. Yes, social studies question. Briefly explain. So you are going to explain what you understand by community. Describe your involvement and the outcome of one significant community leadership initiative in which you play the role, right, to be validated by one of the persons providing your recommendation letters. Yes, so if you partook in an activity organized by your assemblyman, you could just walk up to the person and say, this is your program you organized, I was available, this is what I did. So the person can testify to the fact that you did that thing. So you write the recommendation letter, right? So you come and state what you did here, and then it should match with what the person will state in the letter they will give you, right? That's how it is. And then we look at provide a list of current and past leadership positions, extracurricular activities or experiences. Kindly attach relevant certificates or documents. So if you had a certificate for something, boys prefect, girls prefect, library prefect, dining hall prefect, compound overseer, or whatever position, write it here, the date you assumed office and then ended, and then what were your roles, what were you doing. So if you have the certificate, you attach the certificate. Describe a time when you identified a need in your community and took action. Yes, this is a question that may draw most of you back, but then you would have participated in a lot of things in your community. That's why community involvement is very important. Always involve yourself in community work. It could be even in your church, right? Clean up the church or help in cleaning the church and stuff. Your pastor would definitely be glad to write a recommendation letter for you. You get it? So let's say, for example, the church, you always go to church on Sunday and find out that the chairs are dirty. So what did you identify? My church always had dirty chairs every Sunday morning, so people end up sitting in the dirt or using their handkerchiefs to clean the dirt before sitting. So how did you address it? You provided napkins or rags to clean the place on Saturday evenings and then early on Sunday mornings before church services began. So what difficulties did you encounter? You had fewer people contributing to help you take on the cleaning process. What was the outcome? The outcome was that people began to appreciate the work I was doing, so they also started involving themselves in it. And then on every Sunday morning, the chairs in the church are always clean. So we just begin our worship, and then everybody's okay. Do you see any challenges in your community? Yes, no. If yes, please list some of them. So what are some of the challenges in your community? Is it people having problems with water, a structure, or crossing a stream during the rainy season where there are no bridges that you have to walk through the stream? So what are some of the challenges you find in your community? List some of them there. And then what is your vision for your community? 250 word limit. Yes, this is more or less like an essay for a JHS student. Yes, before you even start writing, just think of your points. Write down your points, then you start explaining on the rough sheet. After that, write on the photocopied one. After that, you summarize and then make sure the word count is up to 150. Okay, so this is how English teachers count your words. They cannot count single words on each line, right? So let's say you start with a paragraph here, right, and then you wrote to fill this second line, the whole of this line. we start counting the words on this line, and then we count the number of lines you've written, and then we multiply it by the number of words on this line. That will give the word limit of this, right? So that's how the word limit is being determined. So you can use that in attaining your word limit. How will achieving a bachelor's degree education at KNUST and participation in the MasterCard Scholars program empower you to address challenges in your community? 100 word maximum. You don't need to write plenty. What would the bachelor help you to do? What would be its benefits to you, right? And then the MasterCard Foundation, what will be its benefit to you? Don't write plenty. Please obey the instructions. In few words, describe your strengths, gifts, and areas you consider there is the need for growth. So the skills that you have, you make mention of them. This is to help the organization get what you require when you are being selected, so that you'll be mentored to the end to help grow your strength. So this is the declaration section, and this the last part one. I hereby declare that the information herein given is a true and accurate account of my status, whatever. So yes, that is it. You sign, and then you write the date that you signed, and then that'll be the end. Below should be endorsed by pastor, imam, headmaster. So one of your referees should endorse it. You shouldn't endorse it yourself. Okay, so that's the end of the application process. Give a vivid description of the directions to your place of residence as indicated in section A as your current residence, beginning from the district capital. Include a diagram with some landmarks giving directions to your current place of residence. Yes, you are going to draw. You draw here, but then you have to draw on a sheet before. So let's say you live close to Assemblies of God Church in your community, right? So you start from your district capital. Okay, your district capital is where your district assembly is. Okay, and then you start from there. Then you give directions. Make use of the left and right hand, opposite, near, behind. Use those prepositions and other words to make your description very nice. Don't use the class 1 English. It should be clear, and then your drawing should be it shouldn't be something pictorial, just symbols. So you could just draw something to represent something, right? Just draw something to represent something. Okay, it's not necessarily that you should draw a school, you should draw a mosque. You could use shapes to represent, but make sure that you indicate the name of whatever shape that you've written. So you could use the square to represent your school, and then you write school inside the square, so the person knows that this is a school. Okay, this is as simple as that. You don't need to draw anything for mountains or anything. It's just simple. Just draw something simple, but you don't need to draw anything complex. Okay, so that's that for the application process. We are going to look at the scholar's guide. When you become a beneficiary, what do you gain? What do you get? What do the organization require you to do? What are the punishments, or what will be given to you, or what consequences do you face if you do something wrong? Okay, so we go to the scholar's guide. And before we go there, I would like you to subscribe to this channel, comment, like the videos, and share for more. Okay, so now let's look at the scholar's guide. This is a revised one, right, for 2021. Okay, and it's been available since then, right? So the scholarship package, the packages of the scholarship. So a scholar at the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship program shall receive the following packages as part of his or her scholarship. So for both local and international scholars, you all benefit, or you all get the same benefits. So full payment of school fees for the entire period of study, right? So from first year to whatever year that you complete, they will be paying your fees and all that. Payment of residential fees for campus accommodation. As I stated, beneficiaries of this scholarship are always housed on campus. You don't leave campus. Okay, so Hall 7 Brunei, you'll be given places to stay, and then the impact building, So let's take a look at the impact building. Yes, so this is the impact building, one of the beautiful edifices on KNUST campus. Impact building in front of African Hall, right? It's very nice, very beautiful. This is a side view of it. It has about 800 rooms and offices. Okay, so this is the front view. This is the impact building. This first year, this is where you'll be housed. If you don't get accommodation, continuing students will be moved to other campus facilities like Hall 7 and then Brunei. Okay, so this is the inside of one of the rooms. It's very nice, very nice. So that was about the impact building. That's the place where first years are accommodated. That is beneficiaries of the scholarship. A supplementary daily evening meal served at the scholar's residence. Right, so you be what? Provided daily meals at the residence. You eat free food. Okay, one-off provision of a personal laptop to facilitate studies as well as other course-related works. Yes, so you'll be given a laptop, and just once. If you spoil it, that's all. They don't give you another one. That's why they said it's what? A one-off, right? A one-off provision. Accountable allowance for books, stationery, some modest equipment, and academic-related cost. So, if you read a program, or if you become a beneficiary of the scholarship, you are given allowances for what? Stationery, books, equipment. So let's say you read a program like medicine, and then your lab coats and then other stuff that you're supposed to purchase. They give you allowances to cover those stuffs. Okay, so depending on your program, they give you an amount. Okay, and then you used to take care of that. Okay, so medical insurance shall cover all scholars while on campus, right? And school is in section for the entire duration of one's program of study. So once you are in school and you are studying and all that, your health related issues are being catered for by the scholarship. So you don't need to worry about bills at the hospitals when you get sick. All investigation for medical procedures shall start from KNUST hospital. Yes, so before you come to school, you would have to do the X-ray scan. That's where your medical starts. They will cover that. Once you're a beneficiary, they start your screening from that place, and then counseling support services, academic, educational, short-term psychological and emotional problems. You have a lot of challenges emotionally, physically or psychologically, you go and then they counsel you. Career development services, we already looked at that and all this. Yes, so for international scholars exclusively, the office of the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship Program at KNUST shall purchase an annual return flight from and to home country and pay for any ancillary charges as COVID fees for the entire duration of a scholarship program. So if you're a beneficiary of this scholarship and you're outside Ghana, your flight issues are being covered. They take care of your transportation in and out. The office shall undertake the processing of international scholars residence permit. Okay, so all you need is just your passport. They work for the permit for you. The office shall undertake processing of non-citizen Ghana card. Okay, so these are all benefits of the scholarship. Okay, so now let's look at what the academic performance and conduct of individuals. So first, we have probation. All scholars are considered to be on probation for the entire period of their program of study, and as such may be withdrawn at any time for unsatisfactory academic work or misconduct, right? So if you do anything, everybody's on probation, right? Once you're a beneficiary, doesn't mean you are not entitled to be punished or what. But then when you commit a crime, you face the laws of the school, and then poor academic standing. When you perform abysmally, you'll be taken out of the scheme. So every scholar must make the effort to attain a cumulative weighted average of not less than 50% for each semester. Okay, so your CWA shouldn't be less than 50%, right, for each semester. So you should maintain the 50% CWA or more for the end of school. If you drop below 50%, you'll be taken out. Every scholar who fails to achieve this minimum 50% mark would have to go through a review and, where necessary, provided with support. Where the poor performance is due to deliberate slacking by the scholar, in spite of support, then a decision would have to be taken relating to withdrawal from the program. Yes, so if you deliberately decide not to learn when you have all the support, then you would have to face your own music, right? So misconduct: to be absent from an event, activity organized for scholars by the scholars program without express permission from the secretariat. So you'll be having meetings and all that. It's all about gathering. So if you do not make up for the gathering, they will sanction you. And then if you miss lectures for 3 times in KNUST, you will not be allowed to write an exam. So if that want to affect your academics, then you'll be taking off the scholarship scheme or the scholarship program, right? Except for situations where it's by nature, for example, falling sick, right? But even with that one, you need to provide a doctor's report. Okay, so there are a lot of it in this guide, so I'll put the link in the group description. You can read for yourself a lot more about this scholarship. And then that is that for the MasterCard scholarship application. Alright, so that is that for the MasterCard scholarship application at KNUST. And then before I end, I would like to summarize almost everything. So the application process instruction: awaiting students are not part, and then the documents required, the reference letters, and then submission of evidence of parents, guardians' income, and then your school transcript, birth certificate, and any supporting document. Okay, and then international applicants should have their passports ready, and then you are supposed to also apply to KNUST separately, right? The details that you provide should be the details that you provide should be active, especially your contact details, your email address, your phone numbers, and then you shouldn't falsify or provide false information. Provide the accurate and legit information, right? So thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share for more. You can drop your questions in the comment section. If you don't understand anything, just drop it in the comment section and I'll be glad to answer you. Thank you very much once again. Have a wonderful day. Bye.